Hello everyone and welcome back to Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney Spirit of Justice for the Nintendo 3DS. Oh boy, what an investigation. But unfortunately because of it, Phoenix couldn't find the right conclusive evidence to help Maya. The only thing that might help Phoenix is through that divination seance. But before we get started, we finally discovered the real reason why the Kingdom of Kurain have abolished all lawyers. It turns out that it was because of what the now rebel leader of the Defiant Dragons, known as Dirk, did, or what they claim he did. That he assassinated the previous queen of the kingdom of Kurain. So that is the reason, since Dirk himself is the defense attorney. That is the reason why all lawyers have been abolished, was because of the assassination of the previous queen. Wow, this has gone crazy. And to add icing on the cake, Dirk had two sons. One, well, his biological son, and the other was adopted. Turns out that those kids in the picture we saw was none other than Ryuta Sadmahi and Apollo Justice. So yeah, that they were they're in actuality they're brothers. Well, adopted brothers. Alright, so without further ado, let's get started with the trial of Maya. Oh boy, it's gonna be one doozy of a trial. So, bottle water at the ready. Let's get started. First off, let me save the game here. Alright, here we go. Alright, so we're back at the accused lobby. Maya looks exhausted, but I can't blame her. Nick, I was thinking about it all day yesterday. I never properly asked you to defend me. Did I? It doesn't matter. I'm on this case till the bitter end. I know. That's why I wanted to officially ask you for your help. You got it, Maya. Let's do this. We gotta wrap up this up and get back home so you can make your dream show come true. The Steel Samurai versus the Plum Punisher, right? You bet. You look as if you did not sleep last night. Barbed head. It is written all over your face. How can you expect to put up a respectable defense like that? I'm all fired up and raring to go. I guess Maya's not the only one looking exhausted. She is very quiet right now. Rayfa doesn't seem in the best spirits herself. Go ahead. Feign confidence now while you are still able. Sorry about that. Go ahead. Feign confidence now while you are still able. Ow, my toes. For I will see to it that your last rites are read to you this day. I guess it was just my imagination. Ready, Nick? Okay, Maya. Let's head on in. Oof. Alright, here we go. Skip this. Open up them doors. Day 2. Court is now in session. All rise. And be seated. Now then, if everyone is ready. The defense is ready, your majesty. The prosecution is ready. Let us begin without further delay. Oh, no prayers this time, Prosecutor Assad Mahdi? I already offered my prayers for the latest victim during my visit to the crime scene. Being that that the accused has already been found guilty of the first murder, let us hasten this trial so we may put this dead lawyer walking out of his misery. I could not agree more. In yesterday's trial, the accused was already found guilty of murdering the high priest, and today she will be tried for the murder of his disciple. Praise a lot. Now then, Prosecutor Assad Mahdi, your opening statement, if you would. Certainly. The accused has now slain 2 of the most devout clergymen in Qur'anism. Even the lowest level of hiffle, the hiffle of tickling, would not be a punishment enough. Then what a terrible fate awaits her? Baljilbo-Khan Hiffle? A realm of eternal agony. There she will suffer the endless punishment of Jagar. I don't know if I said it right. By the Galoon of Pulmo 10. These are some weird words. Furthermore, enough. Thank you, Judge. My blood runs cold at the mere thought that such a terrible place exists. I was going to ask for a translation, but on second thought, ignorance is bliss. Now then, please continue, minus the part about the terrible hiffle awaiting the accused. As you wish. The victim of this heinous crime was the high priest's disciple. Praise a lot. He had been training under the high priest while living at the priest's home. I had met him a number of times, and he seemed like an earnest young man. How tragic that he met such a terrible end. The murder occurred at the Plaza of Devotion during the purification rite. It was a bold crime carried out while the plaza was full of faithful deep in prayer. The faithful, sorry. The war-bat dagger was found impaled in the victim's upper back. The stabbing caused a spinal cord injury that killed him instantly. The war-bat dagger. Lady Kira's weapon of choice. We have already established that the accused prints were on the weapon. Incredibly darning evidence in itself. No, I didn't do it. Like I said, keep aware. Just because prints were there, that doesn't mean it is the actual truth. You need to figure out how the pieces go together. I can't stress this enough. Hold your tongue. Now, being that the accused, Maya Fey, is a serial killer, the prosecution believes that the death penalty is the only possible sentence. Would the defense care to respond? The accused is innocent, and nothing can convince me otherwise. After all, the crime scene was packed with worshippers. How could my client possibly have committed this murder without a single witness? The accused's fingerprints on the murder weapon alone is enough to render a verdict. As such, I see no need to debate this any further. But, well, once her benevolence conducts her seance, it will be clear for all to see. Your Majesty, might I have a word? Is something the matter, Prosecutor Satmahi? It is about the divination seance. Your benevolence. Stop right there, Prosecutor Satmahi. As you wish. Forgive me for overstepping my bounds. What was that all about? Barbed Head, have you made peace with your fate yet? For this time, the divination seance will bring you to your knees. I'm ready, and I accept your challenge. The only problem is I have no weapons at my disposal. Our only hope now is what we glean from the seance vision and Rayfa's insights. Very well. The divination seance, if you please, your benevolence. Yes. Let us begin. Nana? And I'm gonna skip this part. Wait for it.
Oh, hold at the so that we may.
There we go. And skip. Like I said, if you want to see the whole thing in its entirety, head for the first episode. What just happened? I don't get it. Why wasn't there anything to see? Your benevolence? What in the world? I was unable to invoke any sort of a response. I called out the spirit's name many times, but to no avail. Just as I thought. Wait, what does he know that we don't? I had sought to confirm the contents of today's divination seance. After all, it is customary for the prosecutor to verify it beforehand. Come to think of it, I must go perform a divination seance for praise a lot. It is our custom for the prosecution to review its contents before a trial. And that is why I sought to stop her benevolence from performing it here. However, she insisted that it be done. She wished to try one more time here in the Hall of Justice. It would appear her benevolence is tired from her manifold duties. I am not anything of the sort. The victim's spirit will not answer my call, but I know not why. It is my sacred duty to convey the truth through the divination seance. Rafa, what are we to do without a divination seance? If you're wondering why it's not happening, it's a guess that he's not dead. That is my theory on that. I suppose I shall have to deliver the last rites without them. The prosecution has already taken that into account when preparing for today. I am fully capable of proving the accused's guilt with or without a divination seance. You never fail to impress, Prosecutor Sadmahi. This is bad. The divination seance was my one and only hope. Your Majesty, her benevolence said she isn't tired. So shouldn't we try to find out why the seance failed? How curious, Mr. Wright. Why have you suddenly taken such a keen interest in the divination seance? Yes, explain yourself. The divination seance is for shedding light on an accused's crimes. It is the Holy Mother's hammer of wrath that is ever poised to pound you into your grave. You should fear it, not plead for it. I believe in my client. Plus, yesterday somebody told me something that changed my mind. The divination seance was once thought of as another piece of evidence. If we were to correctly interpret the visions through careful analysis, then they would lead us to the truth of what really happened. And the truth will show my client, Maya Fey, is innocent. The truth is, you don't have anything else to fall back on, huh, Nick? Maya, please, you're not helping. How dare you? The voice of Maitama is to be feared, not utilized by vile lawyers such as you. Seances exact a heavy toll upon the royal priestess. It would be best not to burn her any further. Or does the defense feel that it can pose no counter arguments without the seance? No, of course not. He saw right through me. I'll have to find a way to make the seance happen, or we're toast. Well, since the seance is not possible at this time, I see no other choice. Let us proceed with a trial without the seance, as Prosecutor Sadmahi suggested. Thank you, Your Majesty. Why, you I will not forget this, Barthead. This will not be the last you see of me. Yeah. Now then, I will now proceed by providing an outline of the case at hand. Very well. If the lead detective would please come to the stand, we may begin. All right, so we have Emma now. Okay, here we go. Yeah, there was something that popped into my head, but I'll save that for later. Sorry, Mr. Wright. Detective Sky. I understand how you would wish to save the accused and the defense. They are your friends after all, but you must let them go and move on. But there is only one way to save them now, by giving their souls the a chance to burn away the taint of their sins in the infernal flames. Ooh, I, I, I can't do this. No eating in the Sacred Hall of Justice. Miss Sky, yes? Don't worry about me and Nick. You just do your job. I'm sure Nick will figure something out eventually. Right. Thanks, Miss Faye. Well, hold on. How old is 27? They're almost the same age. So why? Oh, forget it. Never mind. Anyways, how very brave for a criminal with a tainted soul. Ugh. I can't wait until they are put in their place in this trial. Seriously, I can't wait for that. Very well. Detective Sky, please proceed. Okay, I can do this. Let me start with an overview of this case. Alright, here we go. Overview of the second murder. The latest victim was praised a lot. He had been training under the high priest and living at his house for the past 2 years. The high priest's widow believed in me had identified the victim's body. He may have been mistaken for a rebel and killed due to his connection to the high priest. All right. I see. Well, that certainly makes sense. Would the defense care to respond? I didn't spot any inconsistencies in her testimony so far, and I don't have any evidence in my arsenal. What am I going to do now? What is it, Maya? I was just wondering about how much the police actually looked into acolytes a lot, because it just might prove to be the key as to why the divination seance failed. What are you getting at? Well, it's just a hunch. Wait a second. During my investigation, Rafa told me about how the divination seance works. If I could figure out why it failed, maybe she could try it again. Okay, time to press for some more info. Alright, here we go. Let's see. Alright, so she's saying the latest victim, forget that. So the victim was praised a lot. He had been training under the high priest and living at his house for the past 2 years. The high priest's widow believed in me has identified the victim's body. I'm gonna have to press on that. The widow identified the victim's body, huh? I'm gonna need to, yeah, I'm gonna need some more info on that. Was Mrs. Inme's positive ID the only way you could verify the identity of the victim? Huh? Well, no. We also checked the ID card he carried and the data. Sorry. In his family registry, but what? His personal info didn't match any of the public records we cross-referenced. Maybe that's why the divination seance failed. The name. It's the name, actually. I don't think it's... let's see, where is it? Praise a lot. Could it be a fake name? I'm not sure what you mean, Mr. Wright. Here's what I'm thinking. I knew it. Praise a lot is a fake name. Like I said, it has been a long time since I played this game. I've only beaten this game one time, and it was during when I had my Android tablet. That was basically the whole plan, was to play most of the Phoenix Wright games. Well, specifically its 3DS games, Dual Destinies and Spirit of Justice. But however, my Android tablet I had, well, it broke. So yeah. The victim decided to hide his identity for some reason. In other words, he was using a fake name. The royal priestess used the deceased face and true name to summon their spirit. Why, yes, that is indeed true. If he was using a forged ID and there is no mention of him in our public records, then he was likely an illegal immigrant. That they are not uncommon here in Kurain. An illegal immigrant? Come to think of it, Rafa mentioned something about immigrants yesterday. But if that's the case, we have no way of knowing who he really is. We'll have to proceed without holding a divination seance this time. I had always thought that acolytes a lot was Kurainese. Oh, how the high priest must be lamenting in his disciples' deception in the Twilight Realm. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you think? Should we add this testimony, or should we add it? Yeah, we should. Why would I say no? This is an important fact. Please add it to the testimony. It would seem to be a fact most inconvenient for the defense. But if you insist, Detective Sky, please add what you just said to your testimony. Yes, Your Majesty. Alright, new testimony. He was an illegal immigrant, so we don't know his real name. let's present that picture of him.
Objection!
Sorry, Detective Sky, but the police missed something important in their investigation. Huh? What are you talking about? The victim was undeniably a Kuranese native, and this crime scene. Sorry, my throat. Oh my goodness. And this crime scene pic proves it. It does? It's a little hard to see, but look closely. You'll see you'll see clear proof that the victim was Kuranese. Where? I don't see anything that would prove that. Anyways, oh my goodness, my throat. This proves the victim was Kuranese. Remember that little tattoo thing? Let's present it. Oh, my throat. Excuse me 1 second. Let me clear my throat real quick. So, cut. Okay, I'm back. All right, so let's point to the peach tattoo here. There we go. I had it before I cut. I don't know why I moved it now.
Take that!
All right. Look at this tattoo right here. Why, that's a tattoo of a peach? Mm-hmm. I would like you all to think about the meaning of this tattoo. Oh, the victim really liked peaches? Well, peaches are a favored delicacy here in Kurai. They happen to be a personal favorite of mine. The sweetness of their abundant nectars and the softness of their perfectly ripe flesh. Ew. They are a blessing from the Holy Mother herself. Nick, I suddenly got a craving for peaches. After the trial, Maya. Right now, we have bigger fish to fry. Unfortunately, that is not a tattoo of a peach. It is not a peach, you say? Then, what is it? Take a closer look. Have you seen something like that before? Namely, a tattoo on the High Priest's brow? Oh my! What? This mark is only borne by members of the Kurainist clergy. So that is what you believe it to be. But are they not utterly different shapes? Sure, they shape they're shaped differently, but there's a reason for that. The victim had the peach-shaped tattoo inked over an existing tattoo for some reason. However, the dark red portion is exactly the same mark as all Kurainist clergy bear. Hey, you're right. Until about 20-some odd years ago, everyone did get one, didn't they? I myself bear one. That is entirely too much info, your Majesty. Wait, what was it that he was gonna say? Oh. Oh wow. I myself bear one right up my right. Okay, so yeah, thank you, Ryuta, for stopping him from saying that. But I must say it's funny. It's so funny. Okay, all right. All jokes aside, okay, I can't. All right. For information on everyone who enters the clergy is maintained at the temple. All we have to do is look up a monk with a mark in the same spot. I'm on it. I'll let you know if I get any hits. That will not be necessary. If you seek information on the clergy, I have it all right here. Oh my, you never cease to amaze. So, lowering the volume. So, tell us, is there anyone who fits the bill? There is just one, and his name is Real Nemu. I get it. Real name. He became a monk 20 years ago. Alright. Then that must be the victim's real name. But why would he try to cover up his tattoo with another one? Yeah, there must be some reason. Nick, that's not important right now. The important thing is we know his real name. You're right. Your Majesty, now that we have the victim's real name, the divination seance might finally work. A lawyer who willingly seeks a seance. This is entirely unprecedented. You are but digging your own grave, defense. We won't know until we try. Sure, it's risky, but it's our only hope. Very well. Let the divination seance be held once more. Why would a lawyer work so hard to see a divination seance be held once more? You are a fool, Barbed Head, and your foolishness shall yield no gratitude from me. For with the truth revealed by my insights, I shall gladly seek your demise. Bring it on, princess. Because I will correctly interpret each and every one of your insights. You will regret ever thinking you could use my sacred insights as evidence. Alright, time to skip this again.
Oh, hold let the so that we may.
And press start. And here we go. That looks familiar. Alright, there's the pain there. That place, it looks very familiar. Oh my! It is just as Mr. Rite summarized. Paraisala wasn't the victim's true name. And now at last, we have seen the victim's final moments. But all we could see was the ground. You seem terribly disappointed. I take it you did not find any fodder for one of your infamous turnabouts. I, on the other hand, have discovered something. Conclusive evidence that establishes the accused's guilt. You did? A most surprising surprise attack. So tell us, Prosecutor Sasat Mahi, what is this conclusive evidence you have found? The plumbed Punisher's theme song that the deceased heard. Please consider this item here. It was confiscated from the accused during her interrogation. Hey, that's my plumbed Punisher strap. When you pressed the Magatama on the plumbed Punisher's belt, it's still a rip-off of the Steel Samurai, and y'all know it. It's true, you know. It's very true. It seems the accused inadvertently pressed the button in the midst of her crime. This strap is an extremely rare item, is it not, Miss Faye? You'd better not break it. There's only one of those in the whole wide world. Maya, no! Oh my goodness. I think she said something she wasn't supposed to say. It just as I said. Your flights of fancy have come crashing down on you. She sure seems to be enjoying this. Yeah, I've never seen her look so thrilled before either. It is time to accept the fact that the divination seance is far more than mere evidence. It is the very truth that brings the hammer of justice down upon the accused. That is as conclusive as evidence can get. Now then, if there are no further objections...
Objection!
Yes, there is. Slow down there, your majesty. At least let me, I may make a counter-argument. What's this? Do you take issue with the divination seance? Well, this isn't the first time. Or the second time, actually. Mind you. Oh, I have issues with it. I just don't know what they are yet. But that's never stopped me before. The divination seance is not the absolute truth. It's only becomes the truth after it's been interpreted correctly. You don't know when you are beaten, do you, you foolish lawyer? He never gives up, Nina. Get that through your head. Oh my goodness. Phoenix is a guy that doesn't give up. He doesn't know when to give up. He only gives up if he has to. But in circumstances like this, he never gives up. Entiende, niña? I am the only one who speaks for the Maitama of the deceased. If you believe there to be errors in my insights, then let us see you prove it. Alright, here we go. Seance time. Alright, Rayfa's insight. Now, let's hear what she has to say first before we delve deep into that last moments. The victim was offering up his prayers. It was the night of the Rite. Rhyming. The pattern on the plaza's ground was visible in the darkness. Then, someone was there, and the theme to the Plum the Punisher filled the air. The accused held the victim down and plunged her dagger into his upper back. Wait a minute. More on that later. Forget it. The blade struck true, and in that instant, he departed from this world. That is everything the deceased experienced in his final moments. Her benevolence's insights have painted a detailed picture, both vivid and true. I didn't notice any holes there. As they stand now, those insights are really stacked against us. I'll just have to go over each and every one of the deceased. I was about to say diseased. Ooh, that was a close call there. Even though I already said the word. Sensations very carefully. Alright, here we go. Oh, wow, that was first. Okay, this is the first. The speed slowed down, which is weird. Excuse me one little second. I'll be right back. Cut. Okay, I'm back. Unfortunately, sorry, I couldn't fix the game speed issue. It's because currently I am not using my HD monitor, and I'm using like a completely different monitor. You know, a 4x9 computer monitor with VGA. It's because the HD monitor that I use is a it has HDMI in it, but on the computer wise, I had to buy a DisplayPort to HDMI adapter. So since my HD monitor isn't working, I'm gonna have to stick with the good old VGA monitor that I have. So until I can buy a new one in the future. So in terms of the seances, unfortunately, you're gonna see slowdown. All right. So, anyways, let's go right here towards the second statement. It was the night of the rite. Though it's dark, the pattern on the plaza grounds was visible. But as I said, something looks familiar about this. If you recall, when we went towards that hideout, there was this stone moss. That big stone that was filled with that green moss that we saw, and it had handprints on it. So yeah, this so they're saying that he was killed in the Plaza of Devotion. But after seeing his last rites, that's not the case. In fact, he was actually killed in the Defiant Dragon's hideout. Ooh, that's in the what was that place again? Oh, well, anyways, let's. Okay, there it goes. That was let me see, in the inner sanctum. So as I said, I apologize for the slowdown here for some odd reason. Let's see. Let's see. Ooh. Ginghil isn't that herb that they were eating the night before the murder of Abbott and me? Let's press on that smell, that yellow color. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this. I think it was at the beginning of the first case. There are you gonna see like the different things: smell, sight. I think it was already explained, so I apologize. So let's.
I'm dead!
Oh my goodness, that sounds so horrible. Like I said, I apologize for this. What in the world? That's weird. Come on. Come on. Was it really, the Night of the Rite? Uh-oh. It ain't responding. I'll be right back. Cut. Okay, I'm back. Alright, so as I said, I apologize for the slowness. It's because of the monitor I'm using, and it's VGA, and ever since I bought that display port to HDMI, it made things so much simpler, you know? So much simpler. But unfortunately, until I get a new monitor, this is all we have, so I must apologize for the slowdown. Alright, let me reread what it was supposed to say here. Was it really the Night of the Rite? What do you mean? It could not be otherwise. The accused slew acolytes a lot after killing the high priest during the purification rite. The only problem is the deceased spirit does not corroborate that. What's this? Take a good look at what the victim smelled. Do you see how it says gingeal? I think that's how it's pronounced. Acolytes a lot shouldn't have smelled any gingeal on the night of the rite. What do you mean? Let me back up my statement with some new evidence for you. This should explain how the victim couldn't have smelled gingeal on the night of the rite, and thus we present... No, wrong statement. Here it is. Believes statement. The high priest's wife believed in me, told me about the Feast of Blessings. The feast includes a number of gingeal-based dishes, and they're only supposed to be served at a certain time the day before the rite. Why, I believe you're right. I had completely forgotten about that. During the feast, the unique smell of gingeal pervades the entire kingdom. The fact that the victim smelled it means he was murdered between noon and 3 p.m. the day before the purification rite. I am not so easily fooled. Did the autopsy report not make it clear? The estimate time of death was during the rite. Oh, right. I taught her about that yesterday. Forgive me, your benevolence, but the estimate at the time of death is just that, an estimate. Depending on the circumstances, it's possible for it to change. What's this? Like if a body was kept cold, the slowed rate of decay makes the death seem more recent. Why, I believe I have heard something of the sort before. If it is as Mr. Rite claims, the estimate time of death in the autopsy report will have to be revised. Alright, so Zalat's autopsy report has been updated. Cause of death was a spinal cord injury from being stabbed in the upper back by a bladed weapon. However, there was more to it than that. Barbed head, you blinded me with science. You were curious about that, Nina. You asked questions. Looks like curiosity killed the cat, didn't it? Sorry. Wait, what am I apologizing for? No matter. The murder may have occurred in the afternoon hours the day before the rite. Nevertheless, the murder weapon with the accused prints on it is incontrovertible evidence. I will now amend my insight to account for this new truth. Alright, so back to slow down again. Oh boy. It was the afternoon of the day before the rite. Though a bit dark, the pattern on the plaza's ground was visible. Anything else? Alright, shoot. I mean, it's because whenever the text is in red, that means it's new. It's a new statement. The time of death has been corrected, leaving my insight infallible. Nick, a change in time of death is bound to cause some sort of inconsistency. If I had something that showed what it was like on that day, it could really help. Alright, so back to good old slowdown again. Alright, so still sticking with that second statement. What I'm gonna do... come on. I have to wait till it rewinds. And we're back. And stop. Oops. No, no, no. Okay, there we go. Select. And basically here, it doesn't matter. I mean, any green surface is fine, so.
Objection!
Oh my goodness, it sounds so horrible. Again, apologies. The change in the date and the time of the crime has caused a new inconsistency to surface. What's this? You are making that irritating face again. Cease that at once. Sorry, but this is the face I was born with. Get used to it. Now, let's focus on what is important. What the victim saw in his final moments. Do you have bats in the belfry, Barthead? There's nothing to see. The ground at the plaza was all that entered in the victim's eyes. Well, entered the victim's eyes. And that's what I find so strange. On the day before the rite, it should have been impossible to see that pattern on the ground. Impossible, you say? Do explain. This piece of evidence shows why the plaza's ground was not visible that day. And thus, we present the May 9th newspaper.
Take that!
This newspaper has an article that is tiny in size, but huge in importance. It says that the ground was covered with thick white ice the day before the rite. What? But the victim did not see so much as an ice cube on the ground. Exactly. And so we must ask, what was the victim looking at in his final moments? If you have something to say, then say it. The last thing the victim saw was not the ground at the Plaza of Devotion. This can only mean that he was killed elsewhere. What? What? Complete the word, please. Thank you. Then, where do you, then where do you propose the victim was actually killed? Yes, tell us where, otherwise your argument is worthless. About that, I hadn't gotten to that part yet. Any ideas, Maya? Let me think. Well, it's somewhere green and shaggy, right? Right, but where could that be? What is it, Barbed Head? Giving up already? Not at all. Now, where have I seen something green and shaggy? This shows where the victim was killed. And thus we present the photo that Phoenix took. If I can find it. Ah, here it is. The Rebel Hideout. The secret hideout the rebels were using. The Rebel Hideout? There was no such place anywhere on the floor of that chamber. You're absolutely right. There's no place on the floor anyway. Then what did the victim see in his final moments, if not the floor of the Rebel Hideout? This is what the victim saw in his final moments. Yeah. Remember those handprints that we couldn't investigate? Well, now it's time to present it. The shaggy green surface the victim saw was one of the moss-covered stone slabs. As you can see, there are two distinct hand-shaped impressions in the moss here. I believe the victim was killed while he stood there with his hands pressed against the slab. That does agree with the seance vision. However, one cannot definitely declare they are one and the same. Actually, they are, because where have we seen any stones that have green moss anywhere? I sure haven't seen any green moss since the first investigation, really. I concur. There is no proof that a murder occurred in the Rebel Hideout. Indeed, what evidence do you have of this? I've already shown you the evidence. What do you mean? Please take a look at this second version of the photo I just showed you. Second version? I've never mind. You can see the results of the luminol test. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I performed near the Rebel Hideout. This is the proof that someone had been bleeding in front of the stone slab. Is this true? Mm-hmm. This info has already been provided to the police. Detective Sky, to whom does this blood belong? Well, we thought it was the High Priest's blood that flowed in from outside. So we haven't tested it yet. Then you must do so at once. Yes, Your Majesty. And now we play the waiting game. Well, that was fast. It appears the police have finished testing the blood. Detective Sky, your report, please. The blood found in the Rebel Hideout belongs to Praise-A-Lot, just like the defense claims. Detective Sky, do you realize what your blunder has done to me? When this trial concludes, I want to see you in my prayer chamber. There I will deliver a joyous sermon onto you for 8 hours straight. Oh, shut your inanimate face, Sadmahi. She's a detective. That's her job, to find evidence. If she forgot, okay. We all make mistakes. So do you. I'm sorry, but please, anything but that. Nick, maybe, just maybe, this is the chance we've been waiting for. Yep, it would seem so. I hate to do this to Emma, but go for it. It's full speed ahead. The victim was killed in the rebel hideout the day before the purification rite. Then his body was moved to the Plaza of Devotion by someone we've yet to identify. So, when we thought we saw Acolyte Zalat praying during the rite, he was already dead. Ah! Oh yeah. And that's not all. If he was killed at the inner sanctum, that would explain one more thing. And that would be how the time of death was made to look later than it actually was. The proof of which was left behind at the sanctum. This points to how the time of death was made to appear later than it actually was. And thus, let's present the inner sanctum photo. Why, these are pictures of the inner sanctum. I'd like you to focus on this one. The proof is right here in this photo. This is how the time of death was made to appear later than it really was. Do you see how the snow has been removed from this one spot only? That's because it was used to keep the victim's body cold. And that's why the time of death wasn't what it seemed. The time was mistaken, and the place too. And just what do you believe that proves? That my client is innocent. What of her fingerprints on the dagger and the plump Punisher theme the victim heard? You have failed to address these two key pieces of evidence. I see your point. Wasn't this your big chance, Nick? I'm really hoping that the difference in location can invalidate either the weapon or the theme song from being used as evidence against you. Actually, that might be possible, at least for one of them. Really? What's this? You say you can contradict our argument for a key piece of evidence? Very well. Let us see you try. Nick, take a good look at the rebel hideout photo. Oh. The defense can invalidate this piece of evidence, and that is the plumbed Punisher theme. In Japan, in the Japanese version, they call it the Tori Samam song. I guess Taurus Saman song. I think that's how it's pronounced. So, the plumbed Punisher theme. The plumbed Punisher theme. And how do you intend to support such a claim? Since the murder happened in the rebel hideout, there's something there that played the theme song other than my client's strap. It wasn't the strap? Is this true? The item that played the theme song was this. Thus, we present this little clock thingy-majiggy.
Take that!
This is a plumbed Punisher alarm clock. I believe the victim heard its alarm go off. What proof do you have that the alarm went off?
Objection!
What proof do you have that it was my client's strap that played the theme song? Don't twist the facts with your lawyerly wiles. Either way, the accused would still be guilty based off of her prints on the murder weapon. Sometimes prints are what they seem. Keep in mind, if you recall, Maya said that she fell asleep. Or something put her to sleep. Something had put it or someone or something put her to sleep. Because keep in mind, if you remember those herbs, the gingeal, they're supposed to keep you awake for 3 days. So in this case, someone had to put her to sleep. But who was it though? I might have a feeling who it is, but I'll leave that. But I'll leave you to figure that out as we progress through the story. And here is what really happened. Insight revised. All right. The victim stood with his hands on the stone slab in the hideout. It was the afternoon of the day before the rite. And that's it. Though there have been some twists and turns, that is the truth of what happened. I won't get anywhere until I can eliminate the dagger. Most impressive, your benevolence. I see no inconsistencies anywhere in the prosecution's case. No, there is one. What's this? You still claim there to be an inconsistency? Try as you might, the outcome will always be the same. Alright, back to the seance we go. Hey, it's fixed! I mean, I didn't do anything, but it fixed itself. Well, alright. Alright. Okay, well, sort of, but at least it's fixed. Alright, so statement number 1, which is the victim stood with his hands on the stone slab in the hideout. Okay. So where is it? Am I supposed to? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What's this heavy thing here? This heavy feeling. A touch. A heavy feeling touch. Yeah, keep on. There's touch, sight, sound, and smell. But we're gonna go for heavy. Alright, here we go.
Objection!
Oh my goodness, that feels so much better now. No more slow speed. The victim was originally thought to have been stabbed while bent over in prayer, but he was actually standing with his hands against the stone slab. So the question is, where did the sensation of something heavy come from? You see? I'm sorry. Yes, I see your point. Since the victim was standing, he couldn't have been held down. Eep! Then tell us, Mr. Wright, what was that heavy sensation felt by the victim? Give me 1 second here. Okay, we're cool. On the volume, that is. Then tell us, Mr. Wright, what was that heavy sensation felt by the victim? What caused the heavy sensation Zalat felt? Any thoughts, Maya? I agree. That sense of heaviness seems important, but there's also the matter of Zalat's hands on the stone slab. Why were they even there? Could it be related to the cause of the heavy sensation? Well, Mr. Wright, do you have an answer for us? Of course. If I just envisioned the state of Zalat was in when he was killed, the cause of the heaviness of the victim felt was the culprit jumped on him? Well, that could be a possibility, but I would have to say the falling stone slab. The only conceivable cause is the stone slab falling over, trapping the victim underneath. What? Oh, the stone slab came falling down on him, crashing him underneath. Right. That was the cause of the heavy sensation the victim felt. Well, that could be true, but unfortunately that's not it. More on that later. While your theory is impressive, you have overlooked a key fact. The victim was not crushed to death, rather he was stabbed. Oh, yeah. Or do you claim that the dagger was plunged in after the slab had fallen on him? Plus, had the killer been behind the victim, they would have been both been crushed together. Well, would you care to explain? Sure, I'd love to. That doesn't mean I can. How could the dagger have been plunged in after the slab fell on the victim? The killer couldn't have plunged that dagger into the victim after the slab fell on him. But what if the murder weapon wasn't what we thought it was? Well, there were other weapons in the rebel hideout, but the entrance to the hideout is right by the stone slab. There isn't enough space between the two to use any of the weapons found within. Yeah, there's not much space by the entrance, is there? So what was the real murder weapon then? I better think of something. If the murder weapon wasn't the dagger, then the dagger must have been plunged into the victim after he was already dead. That means he was stabbed at least twice, but the autopsy report didn't mention that. Then he must have been stabbed in the same spot with something shaped like the dagger. And I think I know just what it is. Would the defense care to offer an explanation sometime of this century? Wait, wasn't there something dagger-like near the scene of the crime? Something that had a shape similar to the Warbat dagger. Present your evidence at this time, Mr. Wright. This shows what really killed the victim. Thus, we present the sanctuary photo, or the inner sanctum photo.
Take that!
Is this not the photo from the scene of the high priest's murder? Are you suggesting the murder weapon is hidden herein? This is what really took Praise-a-Lot's life. Thus, we show this little part right here. Come on. Stay. Oop, sorry. Alright. The Warbat statue. But that is the Warbat statue? Mm-hmm. Exactly. The Warbat statue has dagger-like feathers protruding from it. This is what really took the victim's life. You imbecilic fool. The statue is outside of the hideout. How do you propose it impales someone who was inside? Haven't you heard? The Warbat statue also functions as the hideout's door. What do you mean? The statue can pull a complete switcheroo. A switcheroo? To put it simply, it's a revolving door. A revolving door? Why, that makes perfect sense. Therefore, I believe the truth behind the divination seance to be this. As the victim entered the secret hideout, the stone sculpture came toppling toward him. He threw up his hands in the air and waved them like he just don't care. Sorry. He threw up his hands to stop it, but its weight forced him backwards, and thus, unfortunately, the Warbat statue was right behind him. Ouch, man! I don't even want to like. I want to even picture it. Oh wait, too late. Crap baskets. But anyways, what Rayfa said earlier, this cannot be. But the accused fingerprints were on the dagger. She had held it while rehearsing for the rite, which is when her prints got on it. Gah. This is a shocking turn of events, but there is a great deal of circumstantial evidence in the defense's favor. I believe we must accept that the Warbat statue was what killed the victim. Alright, so we get our next piece of evidence now. The Warbat statue. Warbad, however you want to call it, it's up to y'all. Its sharp, protruding feathers took Praise-a-Lot's life. It's also a revolving door. Now that we know how Acolyte's lot really met his demise. There's no basis for claiming my client committed this crime. Nice work, Nick. How can this happen yet again? Don't you mean for 3 times? No, wait a minute. Yeah. 3 times. I almost lost count, at least. How can this be happening yet again? The divination seance is the only truth. It shows something, but keep in mind, not everything, what you see is not often, is not what it seems. No, your benevolence. It's not the truth itself, but it is a means for shedding light on the truth. Do you understand now? Your kingdom needs lawyers so that they can interpret your insights. But that means I have been misinterpreting the voices of the spirits all this time? Your benevolence, are you unwell? All the color has drained from your face. No, it hasn't. I will be fine. Continue your proceedings without me. As you wish. Pew. And she's gone. I feel kind of bad for her. Now then, I would have the defense continue. Please explain what you have learned now that we know how the victim actually died. Acolyte was killed in the hideout before the high priest's murder. That means the body found at the Plaza of Devotion was moved there by the real killer. But only after the war-bat dagger was thrust into him to make it look like the murder weapon. That does seem to agree with what we know, or what we now know. But why would the real killer go to such lengths? I believe stabbing the acolyte's lot's body with the dagger and moving it to the plaza was to make it look like a serial murder. It was an attempt to make my client look like a serial killer, as in Fruit Loops. That's right. The real killer planned all of this. This forged serial murder case. They did? That's it, Nick. Keep hammering away. As I said, get used to saying that same Kurai's phrase. Your reasoning has more holes in it than the cheese you foreigners so enjoy. Oh, you love it and you know it. What? Like those putrid hole-riddled clumps of curds that only a rat like you could love. Your reasoning, much like your putrid hole-riddled brain, how putrefied. What's this deal with things going putrid? I wonder about that too, Phoenix. Really, I do. You have yet to overturn my argument that the accused is the killer. A careful analysis of the chain of events up to the killing exposes the truth as follows. Disguised as Lady Kira, the accused found the rebel hideout the day before the rite. But Acolyte Zalat had followed her there after noticing her suspicious behavior. The question is how? How did Maya have access to that hideout? There's only one way to open that door. And that key was, if you recall, during the investigation, that's our ball gave that sphere, the sphere, or the orb, that gave him that gave Phoenix access to that hideout. But the thing is, did someone else also have that very same key? And if so, who? Who else had that same orb to open up the secret hideout within the inner sanctum? Well, all the more reason to continue on. But Acolyte Zalat had followed her there after noticing her suspicious behavior. Caught by surprise, she pushed the stone slab toward him, and we know the rest. I've never been into the rebel hideout in my life. When the high priest arrived at the sanctum the next day, he realized what she had done. That is when the accused murdered him in order to silence him. I believe Prosecutor Sadmaki has posed a compelling scenario. The defense, on the other hand, has yet to disprove the accused's guilt. Why would my client move Acolyte Zalat's body to where everyone else could see it? And why would she stab the dagger with her fingerprints into his dead body? She had no reason to do any of those things. The dagger in his corpse was likely a warning to the rebels. Something along the lines of Lady Kira will slay the defiant dragons. What about the orb? What about the key that opens up that hideout? If Maya is the killer, she would have had that orb and used it, but she had no idea of the hideout. She had no idea of the hideout, and the main evidence there is and that orb is the key to opening that hideout. How did Maya come across to that key? She never did, so she's not the murderer, plain and simple. So that is why she moved the body to the plaza for all to see. Now he has the judge convinced too. I thought I'd finally made some headway. Well, Mr. Rite, about time for one of your groans of distress, is it not? Groans of distress? It kills me to admit this, but I've got nothing to counter his argument with, and I still haven't proven the allegations against Maya. Is it not time to end your futile struggle? You were already judged guilty yesterday. That makes you a dead lawyer walking. Accept the death that now awaits you, and in doing so, finally know peace. A dead lawyer walking, indeed. Then again, are not all lawyers who practice in Kurain? But I must admit, I misspoke earlier. Allow me to amend my statement. I had said the defense's reasoning had a putrid, cheese-like smell. But I now realize the stench was from his own putrid body on the verge of death. Now I'm a rotting zombie. Think, who could have killed Zalat the day before the Rite? Who knew about the rebel hideout and could gain access to the inner sanctum? Only those involved with the Rite can enter the sanctum. So, wait a second. Only a rebel would have known about the secret hideout, and the only person who was involved with the Rite had access to the sanctum, and was suspected of being a rebel is... Ah! Did something come to mind? Yes, except there's one huge problem. A huge problem? What are you two going about? Plotting your escape from this sacred hall? I would not put it past you. Considering you have no means to raise further objection. If I don't do something, Prosecutor Asad Mahi will have this one in the bag. I'll just have to bluff my way out of this, regardless of that huge problem. Your Majesty, I believe there is another suspect in Praiselat's murder.
Objection.
Even the most benevolent Holy Mother would not forgive such a desperate lie. After all, you know very well that such a person does not exist. No, there is one person who knew everything. Does such a figure truly exist? Tell us, who that might be. Who might that be? I believe the prime suspect in Acolyte Salat's murder is... And I can tell everyone in that court is gonna be very shocked, but it must be said. Abedin.
Take that!
It had to be someone allowed to enter the sanctum who knew of the hideout. And that would be the High Priest. He could have committed the crime if it occurred the day before the Rite. You would pin a crime upon the dead, knowing very well they tell no tales? Well, you're not wrong about that, but you're about to be surprised on something. Have you no shame? Dead men tell no tales. That is definitely a problem. If only the High Priest could tell his side of the story. What? Do I have something on my face? Wait a second. Could this actually work? Oh no, don't tell me I have some breakfast caught between my teeth. No, if there's even the slightest possibility, I'll have to go with it. Your Majesty, dead men do tell things. Therefore, I would like to request the High Priest testimony. His testimony? And just how do you propose we get the deceased to testify? There's a way for the dead to testify. It's known as channeling. Summon him here by means of spirit channeling. What did you say? Spirit channeling? Has this lawyer finally gone insane? This is sacrilege. Peace! I am frankly astonished you even know of such a thing. But spirit channeling is a secret art that only Her Eminence Queen Garan can perform. Hate to burst your bubble, but it has to be done, Maya. I know she told Phoenix to not tell anybody that she can channel spirits, but it has to be done. And Her Eminence is far too busy with other duties to perform it at our pleasure. I suspected as much. That means our only hope is... It's okay, Nick. You can tell them. But Maya, I thought you wanted to keep it a secret here in Kurain. Don't worry. It's not like it's against the law or violates some religious precepts, so I don't think I will be punished. At least, I hope not. But this is a crucial period for you. It'll decide whether you become a master of Kurain. We don't have any other choice now, do we? If I'm guilty, it'll be a lot worse than not becoming master of Kurain. Alright. Thanks, Maya. Actually, there is someone here who is capable of channeling spirits. But even her benevolence, Princess Rafa, finds the divination seance to be a challenge. Who could possibly have greater spiritual power than she, aside from the Queen? That would be me. Is this some sort of joke? A foreigner could possibly not have such power. Even the royal priestess is incapable of such feat. Peace! Peace, I say! Is this true? Is the accused capable of performing the secret art of spirit channeling? Well, yes. Yes, I can. Now, your Majesty, we'd like your permission to begin. What do you want now, Nina? Your benevolence. This is an outrage! An outrage, I say! First, you make a mockery of the divination seance, and now spirit channeling? Her benevolence speaks the truth. It's time for all of y'all to be shocked and amazed. You'll see. Still your voices. Barbed head. Spirit channeling is the most secret of arts. Well, after the past 3 games, it ain't no secret no more. Are you prepared to face the consequences of what you propose? Yes, I am. Your benevolence, are you saying you approve of their use of spirit channeling? I will judge whether their claim is true. If this is but another one of their lies, they shall be executed on the spot. Very well then. Your benevolence? What if the accused accidentally calls forth an evil spirit? Do you truly believe this foreigner is capable of channeling spirits? Again, if you are a veteran player, you already know that that Maya can do that. Oh, no. But what I wanted to be sure, as I am responsible for the safety of all present. Excuse me. Well, an experienced practitioner could inadvertently call forth a dangerous spirit. But do not fear, for I have a Magatama of parting. With it, I can send spirits back to the Twilight Realm by halting the flow of spiritual power. That is a relief indeed. These foreigners have thrown down the gauntlet. Let us not shirk from their challenge. We must prove them guilty and deliver their last rites. Do I make myself clear, Prosecutor Savmahi? Perfectly, your benevolence. Very well. The accused may channel the High Priest's spirit. But first, we must take a short recess to prepare. We will resume as the preparations are complete. Until then, this court is adjourned. Judge out! Alright. I'm going to take a little break here. I need to get some more water and a bit of other breaks. So I'll be right back. Cut. Okay, I'm back. All right, so let's continue on here. It's time for something we haven't seen since the third game, actually. Channeling. Here we go. Excuse me. Bottle water at the ready, though. Here we go. Sorry, Maya, but this was the only way. You sure you're up for this? Thanks for believing in me, Nick. Even though I don't know if my channeling ability is on point yet. Oh, right. Before she started training her success rate was only about 30%. I know you can do it, Maya. At least I hope she can. So, you're sure you're ready? Yeah, at least I think so. You don't sound so confident. What about all your training? Training's one thing. Actually, doing it is another. Oh, I see. Uh-oh. If she fails to channel the High Priest, we're as good as dead. Relax, Nick. You can count on me. I'll show you what my training's done for me. This will be a moment you never forget. Okay. I just hope it's unforgettable in a good way. Once we hear Abbott in me story, I'm sure the truth will come to light. I hope so, but he was hiding the fact that he was a rebel, so I doubt it'll be it'll be as cut and dried as all that. They are ready for you. Please return to the Hall of Justice at once. Okay, Maya, I'm counting on you. You got it. Here we go. Alright. The moment of truth. We're back in the court. Let's go. We have received official approval for the accused to channel a spirit here today. Now, if you will, Miss Faye, please proceed. Yes, Your Majesty. I can't believe this. Only the Queen should channel spirits. Execute them. Put them to death right now. Come on, Maya. I'm counting on you. I have been studying here in Kurain for 2 years now, so that one day I will be the master of Kurain, a village of spirit mediums back home. But first, I shall show you all the fruits of my training in your kingdom. Wow, she seems really confident. A neophyte, a practitioner such as you cannot possibly channel a spirit. Okay, Your Benevolence. How about this? If I succeed, will you stop calling me a neophyte? Very well. If you succeed. Oh, I will. Just you watch. O spirit of trust in me, slumbering in the realm, return now to the world of the living. Yeah, this is actually the first time we're seeing this, because in the first 3 games, we never actually see her channeling anything at all. So for this game alone, well, we actually see it happen. What is this place? Oh my! No! This cannot be! Palooka! It's the High Priest! The accused really can channel spirits! I don't believe it! The accused spiritual power is the real deal. Go, Maya. I do not understand. This cannot be. This simply cannot be. I must step out now before I forget myself.
Abedinmi,
Would this be the Twilight Realm? And what of this luxurious mane of hair? Is it perhaps a gift from the Holy Mother for decades of faithful service? Abedinmi? My, but if it isn't His Majesty, have you too shoveled off that mortal coil? Please, do not count me among the dead. It is only you who has passed on. But the spirit medium Maya Fey has brought you back among us today. Why? Acolyte Fey has mastered the secret art of channeling, of spirit channeling? I suppose that explains these gorgeous locks. When I pass from this world, I too hope to be channeled with the full head of hair. That's him. Though it be for the briefest of moments, I give thanks for this splendid coiffure. Praise be to the Holy Mother. However, this kimono is a bit too snug for my tastes. If you would excuse me. Make sure you put those rows back on after you've finished. There, that is better. Could we get to his testimony now? And I wished he kept his top on. Why? You are that foreign lawyer the people speak of as of late, and is this not the Hall of Justice? Why have I been summoned here? Forgive us for calling you back from your eternal rest, but you have been accused of murder. Might we ask you to testify on your own behalf? I have been accused of murder? That is troubling indeed. What's with that crazy pose? Is this really cause for astonishment? Even the lowliest of monks can achieve such body control with the proper training. You're in Maya's body. Whatever you do will affect her. Oh, I wonder if will be able to do that someday. No, I won't. Will the defense please explain the situation to the High Priest? I'd be happy to. Your disciple, Praiselot, has been murdered. It happened on the day before the purification rite, and the crime occurred in the rebel hideout hidden within the inner sanctum. Acolyte's lot? He has been killed? Who would do such a thing? Someone who knew of the hideout and had access to the inner sanctum. In other words, you, Abedinmi. After all, weren't you secretly a rebel? I get the feeling that Maya's gonna be very sore in the morning. Oh dear. That's still Maya's body. I hope he doesn't break anything. Wow, the High Priest is amazing. To think he had blah 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 blah. Oh my. Have my rebel allegiance... sorry. Oh my. Have my rebel allegiances been exposed? Not even my wife knew of that. It seems to rest in peace is not my fate. Why did you, a devout priest of Kurainism, join the rebellion? The High Priest has come back to us for but a brief time defense. Shall we not cut to the chase and ask the most pressing of questions? Oh, right. Abbot Inmead, the prosecution believes the one who slew both you and Acolyte Zalat to be Maya Fey, who had been playing the role of Lady Kira in the Rite. Being that I was dead until just a moment ago, my memory is a bit hazy. Could you please do your best to remember? The High Priest says his memory is hazy. It is all coming back to me. It is as Prosecutor Sadmahi concluded. I was slain by none other than Maya Fey. The High Priest's statement has proven my assertions with regards to his murder correct. No! But what about Acolyte Zalat? You were the one who killed him, weren't you? Sorry, I know not about my disciple's murder. Furthermore, I have an alibi of my own. An alibi? Seriously? It seems the testimony the defense had been hoping for is working against him. Now, Abbot Inmead, your testimony, if you please. Yes. Yes, of course. Alright, here we go. Testimony time. Whew. I have an alibi. Here we go. I have ironclad... I have an ironclad alibi for the time during which the murder took place. Just past noon on the day before the rite, I was entertaining guests at my home, and I believe my guests can corroborate this. Really now? You had guests? Just past noon. That's right. Hold on. Sorry. Just past noon. That's right about the time Zalat was murdered. Are you sure about that? Absolutely. Come to think of it, Rafat told me about a spirit's memory. Spirit's memory is cut off at the moment of death. So even a spirit that is brought back after centuries doesn't sense any gap in time between the moment of its death and the moment it is channeled? Yes, and yet it clearly recalls all of the memories it had in life. The High Priest seems to know exactly what he's talking about. So the question is, what would be the best angle of attack? That's where the cross-examination comes in. Alright, here we go. I have an ironclad alibi for the time during which the murder took place. Just past noon on the day before the rite, I was entertaining guests at my home. And I believe my guests can corroborate this. But who are these guests that he's talking about? Let's press on that.
Hold it!
And who exactly were your guests that day? Don't tell me they were rebels, so they can't be called here to testify. It was none other than his Majesty along with his family. He couldn't attend the rite due to work, so he stopped by ahead of time. My, how his sorry about that. My, how his daughter has grown. Wait a second. Let me set the record straight right now. I am not a rebel. Thank you for that wonderful meal, Abbot Inmi. Lady Inmi's cooking simply cannot be beat. So there you have it. When exactly was His Majesty at your home? He was there from 2 p.m. To 3 p.m. Indeed, precisely the time period within which Acolyte's lot was slain. Yes, and we had a rousing chat concerning the game of Kachu them all. But I'll just have that added to the testimony. After all, it was I who visited the High Priest's home. Alright, new statement. My guests that day were His Majesty and his family. They visited from 2 p.m. To 3 p.m. Let's press on that.
Hold it!
Your Majesty, are you sure that this testimony is completely accurate? As sure as can be. Oh, how wonderful it is to finally have my actions admissible as evidence in court. His Majesty was at my home during the exact time period of the murder. Come, let us put this behind us. Excuse me. I could not have possibly committed this crime. How can you be so sure? What if the clock or watch you were using was off, or you misread the time? There was a clock right near the table, and it had the exact same time as my watch. Now do you understand, lawyer? How am I going to attack his alibi? Maya, what do you... Oh, right. She's kind of busy right now. What? Is there something on my face? No, not at all. I'll just have to I'll just have to start to chipping away at the statement about his alibi. Alright then. Let's see. Just past noon the day before, I was entertaining some guests, and I believe my guests can corroborate this. Yeah, let me fix all this, because I don't think... It's basically the same dialogue, so... Alright. From 2 p.m. to 3 p.m., huh? Yeah, it's probably the same thing. The clock was near the table. Yep. Same dialogue. I think I know what I must do. Let's start from, right here.
Hold it!
Guests, and you were entertaining them personally? That I was. We gathered around the table for a most enjoyable conversation. He said his guest could corroborate his alibi. That can be good for our case. Are you sure that it was the same day as the murder? Maybe you misremembered. Ka! Do not doubt my mnemonic faculties. I may have died, but my memories up to that point are crystal clear. Sorry, he's pretty thin-skinned for a priest, though I should have known better than to doubt his memory. A spirit medium's memory is cut off at the moment of death, so even a spirit that is brought back after centuries. Oh, it's the same dialogue. Yes, and yet, yeah, it's the same thing. There's nothing better than in enjoying a Ginghil Gingil cuisine with dear friends. That way, everyone's breath becomes equally malodorous. Right. And let me try the first one here. You used the word alibi as if it were second nature. Are you perhaps mocking me? Or is it perhaps the kingdom of Kurain itself you wish to ridicule? Yeah. Peace! Peace! Peace, I say! Mr. Wright, would you care to clarify your last statement? Please, don't take it the wrong way. It's just, alibi is a rather technical term for a priest to use so naturally. I assure you, I know how to use the term. In fact, I had even hoped for a chance to do so one day. I suppose that even I, a high priest, am not immune to such trivial worldly attachments. Oh, I see. Still, he seems usually calm and composed. It's almost as if he had prepped himself for something like this. As you can see, my alibi is airtight. Or do you still think I could have killed acolytes a lot? Is Majesty's a witness? Are you satisfied now? There is not a single discrepancy in Abbot Envy's alibi. If I give up now, it's all over. Now hold on a second. Is there anything wrong with the High Priestess testimony? Well, yeah, there is. There is a discrepancy in the High Priestess testimony. There is? Well then, perhaps you could explain what it might be. This is what was wrong with his testimony. How did he know about the time of the crime? After Abbot Enemy was channeled, No one ever stated what time Acolyte Zalat was murdered. Now that you mention it, despite that, you claim to have an alibi from 2 p.m. To 3 p.m. That means you knew that Acolyte Zalat was dead when you were still alive. Ah! Wait, I think I saw something just now. No, I must be imagining things. So tell me, how did you know what a time a crime had been committed? About that. Open your heart. Let the Holy Mother in. Why, we've been blessed with the High Priestess' sacred words of prayer. All who serve Her Holiness must strive to banish worldly desires from their soul. Open your heart. Let plunge your. Oh, that's text. The dialogue that's automatic. So I feel as if my very soul has been cleansed. You can't fool me. Prayer may banish worldly desires, but it can't make a contradiction disappear. Now what do you want? How can you be so sure? What's that supposed to mean? This lawyer seems to think little of the power of Kurainist's prayer. Huh? Abbott and me was at home during the crime, but knew of what happened at the hideout. I believe this can be explained thusly. He must have had a way to monitor the hideout from his home. What? You never cease to amaze me, prosecutor. As he has summarized, there was a listening device installed at the hideout. Oh, I forgot about that microphone there that was in the hideout. I forgot that there was one, but Phoenix, not even me, the player, paid no mind to it. Oh wow. It enabled me to instantly learn of anything unusual, even when I was not there. Remember, the rebels had been using this as a top secret hideout. It would be perfectly natural for them to install such an apparatus. Wait, come to think of it, when I was searching the rebel hideout, there's something under the banner. A microphone? What's this doing here? Was someone trying to record something with it? That was a listening device? It starts recording whenever it detects movement. And I heard just such a recording after His Majesty and his family left. If you look if you look in the desk in my study, you will find the tape in question. All right then, bailiff. Yes, Your Majesty. Go retrieve the tape in question from the High Priest's home. At once, your majesty. The power of a Kurainist prayer. Even a putrid brain such as yours should understand it now. It's like the contradiction really did vanish. We shall ascertain of the content of the recording once we have the tape. In the meantime, I would ask Abbot Idmi to continue with his testimony. Very well. Alright, here we go. Next testimony, please. I heard everything. I was I was entertaining his majesty and his family when the crime occurred. When I listened to the tape later, I heard a man and a woman quarreling. It sounded like an altercation between Acolyte Zalat and Acolyte Faye. After that, there was a loud noise, followed by haunting silence. Okay then. I have to find some way to attack his alibi. If only Maya were here. She has a way of putting me at ease. But seeing her like this is only creeping me out. Though the high priest was a rebel, he was still a Korainist holy man. Therefore, take care in your questioning, lest you invoke the area of our people. As if this wasn't hard enough already. Nice try, but I'll stop at nothing to find the truth. All right, here we go. Okay, here we go. I was entertaining His Majesty and his family when the crime occurred. Let's press on that. You were entertaining His Majesty and his family during the crime? Indeed. My wife Believe was treating them to her wonderful home cooking. Your wife was there that day? Why, yes. She was in the kitchen cooking up a storm the entire time. Come to think of it, I don't think I saw her at all that day. She takes her culinary duties most seriously, you see. That is why she was in the kitchen cooking without pause the entire day. So the judge never saw Mrs. Inme, huh? Should I have Abbot Inme add that statement to her? To his testimony? Well, of course. Please add that statement to your testimony, as you wish. Alright, let's see. My wife Believe was in the kitchen cooking the entire time. When I listened to the tape later, I heard a man and a woman quarreling. It sounded like an altercation between Acolyte Zalat and Acolyte Faye. After that, there was a loud noise, followed by haunting silence.
Hold it!
A loud noise? I'd say that's worth looking into. It was a terrible crashing sound. Poor Acolyte Zalat. It must have felt so heavy. It must have been the sound of the stone slab falling over. Should I have him add that statement? Yes. Yeah, that's basically the same dialogue there. I would describe the noise as a terrible crash. Poor Zlot. It must have felt so heavy.
Hold it!
Let's press. You believe that terrible crash is connected to Acolyte Zlot's death? Yes, the sound, no doubt, was poor Zlot's death knell. Such a tragedy, for he was a fine disciple. I would ask all here today to give a prayer for his departed soul. Yeah, what he said. I had high hopes for that young man's future. Yeah, what he said. Why do I feel like such a jerk for trying to do my job right now? So all he knows about the crime is what he heard on the tape, and he was with his Majesty and his family at the time. Now that I have proven the soundness of my alibi, I believe it is about time for me to return to the Twilight Realm. What's the rush? Why not enjoy some more time among the living? I better find a way to attack his alibi soon. I'll just have to press harder and hope something useful comes out. Alright, I was entertaining. I already did that one. My wife, I believe, was in the kitchen cooking the entire time.
Hold it!
What was your wife making that day? The menu that day featured Hatchin soupes and Meltem malt. They are both traditional Koreanese dishes. I can't even begin to imagine what those are. Ah, yes, the exquisite zest of Hatchin soupes and the supreme texture of whatever that is. Lady Inmi's cooking that day was utterly unforgettable. Thank you. It brings me great joy to know you enjoyed your meal. Now, once His Majesty and his family had left, when I listened to the tape earlier, I heard a man and a woman quarreling. Okay? You heard everything from a recording? Indeed. Each night I would secretly check what the listening device had recorded. I would have been in serious trouble with my lovely wife had she discovered my secret. Can you really tell what happened by the audio alone? Long years of ascetic training have sharpened my hearing. Oof, excuse me. It is but a simple matter for me to ascertain a situation by the sounds I hear. But practicing Koreanism improves your hearing? Hearing is but one of the senses it can improve. If one can focus and attain inner peace, all five senses can be sharpened. Why, the warbad over in the bazaar just cried. Did you not hear it? Give me a break. Mr. Rite? Do you still feel the need to question the high priest? His alibi is as tight as can be. You? This isn't going so well. I better ask him about something else. I'm curious, Abbott and me. Did you stop by the rebel hideout after his majesty left? Yes, I thought it would be wise to assess the situation. Excuse me 1 second, I had to make a note of something. But as I said before, there was nothing to see. The hideout appeared as it always had. And the victim's body? It was nowhere to be found. Acolyte Faye must have already disposed of it and anything else incriminating. So when you saw the rebel hideout, it looked like it does in this picture. Yes, I would say that is how it appeared that day. So the stone slab had been put back in place. Alright, so the picture has been updated. A photo of the secret rebel hideout. It is just as Abedinmi saw it after the incident. Mr. Wright, is it not time to concede defeat? No, wait, I just need a little more time. If you insist. Oh my goodness. Let's see, there was something I saw earlier. I would describe the noise as a terrible crash. Pours a lot. It must have been heavy. Let's present something. That actual picture again.
Objection!
Abedinmi, you said, and I quote, pours a lot. It must have felt so heavy. Why do you think he felt something so heavy? You said the hideout looked like it did in this photo. If so, there's nothing that would lead you to believe he had experienced a heavy feeling. Uh-oh. Looks like you've been caught. The fact is, of course, a stone slab did fall over Acolyte's a lot, impaling him on the Warbat statue behind him. But that was only revealed through her benevolence's divination seance earlier. Would the defense please get to the point? My point is, simply hearing a crashing sound shouldn't have automatically led him to conclude the victim was crushed to death. Yeah, keep in mind, Abedinmi only heard it, but did not see it. There's a difference, you know. Hearing is not the same as seeing it. I think I said it right. I still don't see your point. I'm saying that the high priest knew. He knew how the victim was really killed. Why? And that is info on the real killer could have known. I definitely saw it that time. I've got the high priest spirit shaking in his boots, or should I say sandals. Need I remind you, Abedinmi was with his majesty at the time of the crime. Such an alibi precludes him from being the killer. That's true, so he can't be the killer. However, he knew how Zalat was killed, something only the killer could know. Can this discrepancy be resolved somehow? Well, Mr. Wright, we're waiting for an explanation. I was just getting to that. Time to think of something quick. The High Priest knew something only the killer could have known because he heard it from the real culprit. He must have heard how the victim died from the real killer. The real killer? Oh, I think I know who it is. The true culprit, that is. But the question is, why? Let's continue on. Of course, that makes perfect sense. I don't want to believe it, but this is the only possible explanation. So tell us, who is this real killer? It's got to be someone close to the High Priest. Someone without an alibi. Because keep in mind, remember what the judge said, that he did not see this person all day. Sure, they got the meal, but this person hasn't been. The judge hasn't seen the whole time he was there at the High Priest's house, and that person is none other than Believe in Me. Your Majesty, while you were visiting the High Priest's home, you didn't see Mrs. Inme at all, did you? No, I never saw her. But what does that have to do with anything? Did the High Priest ever leave your sight? No, we were talking the entire time, and the food was brought right into the room's entryway. So the High Priest has an ironclad alibi, but his wife does not. What the devil are you insinuating? I'm insinuating that Mrs. Inme might have killed Acolyte Zalat. You have a lot of nerve making such a baseless allegation. She had no motive to kill Acolyte Zalat. He was like family to her. No. We can entirely discount the idea, especially if you consider that Mrs. Inme could have been the one posing as Lady Kira. Even a fool must temper his own foolishness at times. Or do you truly believe Lady Kira would kill Acolyte Zalat, though he was not a rebel?
Objection!
As we all know, the High Priest was secretly a rebel. It would follow that his favorite disciple could very well be a rebel too. Are you suggesting that Mrs. Inme killed her husband as well? As sad as it is to think she killed her own husband to rid the kingdom of rebels, I don't think we can rule it out. Yikes! You claim my wife is that rebel hunting Lady Kira? And that she slew both Zalat and myself? My lovely wife? That is utterly impossible. Oh, caw yourself. I have never seen the high priest so angry. It is as Abbot in me stated. And the accused has already been found guilty of his murder. It is far too late to overturn it. That's right, Mr. Wright. Now, apologize to the good priest before he gets angry again. Quickly now. No, I'm not gonna apologize. The true Lady Kira is a major piece of this trial's puzzle. Admit it, Abbot in me. Your wife, Lady in me, killed you. Yet even now, you continue to lie in an effort to protect her. How absurd! It appears the lawyer has forgotten. My lovely wife could not possibly battle the rebels in the guise of Lady Kira. But keep in mind, she every single year, she always played the part. Or has he forgotten? For we were blessed by her holiness, and she is with child. I completely forgot about that. That abominable Lady Kira figure who slew me and Acolytes a lot was the accused. This is bad, but I can't give up now. Don't forget, my client doesn't have the strength to fight rebels either. How could a weak young woman like her possibly... And that's enough. You foolish oaf of a lawyer. If only you were as blessed as Lady in me. What? Surely the accused possesses strength, or should I say, the power. The power to battle those black-hearted rebels. What are you talking about? My good prosecutor, I see you have come to the same conclusion as I. Such keen insight. Then you have figured it out as well, Abbot in me. May I ask you to explain it to this putrid-brained lawyer? Well, certainly, for I cannot allow him to frame my lovely wife for murder. Foreign devil! Your Majesty, allow me to testify as to how Maya Fey is that murderous Lady Kira. Well, if it would assuage your anger, then by all means, please testify. Alright, here we go. If the music changes, then that means, I guess, this, we're near the end, I hope. It is. Acolyte Faye, channeled Lady Kira's spirit. She is a spirit medium who knows Lady Kira's true name, so she could have done it. So it was the real Lady Kira who returned to root out the rebels among us. She attacked and killed me with a strength far beyond any mortal woman. Hold on one sec. I received a message here. And send. There we go. Sorry about that. But do you understand now? Murder by spirit channeling explains everything. This is the only way the accused could have defeated one rebel after another. Indeed, I am a living, or shall I say, dead proof of her terrible power. Ah! Maya's alibi to channel spirits. It's come back to haunt her. Now, it is not time. Now is not the time to let it go and move on. Defense. No, never. I'll never give up. Now what? Think. How can I prove that Maya couldn't have channeled Lady Kira? Alright. Maya Fey is Lady Kira, huh? Alright, Acolyte Fey channeled Lady Kira's spirit. But the thing is, she didn't do anything of the sort. She is a spirit medium who knows Lady Kira's true name. So she could have done it. The question, now, here's a question. How does he know that Maya is a spirit medium if she kept that, what she can really do a secret? Let's present something before we do something like that. Answer that question here. That is, if I can find it here. Aha! The Tome of Secrets.
Objection!
The Tome of Secrets is only given to the priestess who performs the purification rite. Is this your proof that my client could have channeled Lady Kira? Yes, indeed. For it contains the true name of Lady Kira, a secret only revealed within. Abbot in me? I'm afraid you're mistaken. This couldn't have been used to channel Lady Kira. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot about something. In order to for Maya to channel someone, not only do they have to have their name, but also their face in mind. Now keep in mind on that. We only see the outside, like the mask of Lady Kira. I'm afraid it's a shame that we can't see the picture. Hold on, let me see if I have the picture. Nope. But the newspaper can. But we don't know how she looks like. We only know the actual name, but not her face. I'm afraid I guess I'm gonna have to read this part again. I'm afraid you're mistaken. This couldn't have been used to channel Lady Kira. What nonsense! Mr. Wright, would you care to explain? This is what my client couldn't have channeled Lady Kira. Thus, do you see a face? I see a mask, but I see no face. Lady Kira's face is hidden behind a mask in the Tome of Secrets. You need both a name and a face to channel a spirit. It can't be! Without a face, it would have been impossible for my client to channel Lady Kira. Oh my! Therefore, the claim that she became Lady Kira by means of spirit channeling is patently false. Gah. And with Lady Kira out of the equation, my client had no motive to commit murder. But then, who is the rebel hunting Lady Kira we've been reading about in the paper? Yes, who is this other suspect, if indeed there is one at all? Let us hear the defense's brilliant deduction. Think. The true identity of Lady Kira is the key to solving both murders. I thought Mrs. Inmi was suspicious, but her pregnancy takes her out of the running. And Mr. Arbol is a rebel, so that doesn't make sense. That leaves us with Mr. Wright, you have that look again. The one where you have to say something, but you can't figure out what it is. This is my chance to turn up the heat. I'll just have to stir the pot till something floats to the top. Your Majesty, I know who's been posing as the rebel hunting Lady Kira. You do? Are you sure about that? Yes, completely. I sense that I may regret this, but please go on and explain. Thank you, Your Majesty. This is who's been posing as the rebel hunting Lady Kira. Well, we have to find something, but this is the only thing I can think of. Praise a lot. The true identity of the rebel hunting Lady Kira we seek is praise a lot. What's this? The high priest murdered the disciple was Lady Kira, you say? Peace! I say peace! The defense will continue. Yes, Your Majesty. I whittled down the list of suspects until there was only one left. But a process of elimination is not the same as solid evidence. I assume you have evidence to back up your claim. Yes, of course. I will have some in a moment, that is. At least, I hope so. Maya wasn't Lady Kira, and neither was Mrs. Inmi, or any of the other possibilities. That leaves Salat, and I have the evidence to prove it. The evidence that proves Acolyte Salat was posing as Lady Kira is this, and thus we present the warning letter. This is what proves that Acolyte Salat was Lady Kira. Lady Kira's warning letter. How absurd! What could that possibly prove? Prosecutor Sadmahi, you stated that this warning letter proved that my client was Lady Kira, and the reason you gave was that the High Priest's house was locked tight. But there was another member of the family who lived there. Therefore, Acolyte Zalat could have delivered the warning at any time he wanted. What is he talking about? That's just not possible. Oh, the scared nervousness of Abbott in me. Are you saying? Are you saying Lady Kira was not the culprit, but rather the victim? That's exactly what I'm saying. But that would overturn the entire premise of this case. This trial has proceeding on the assumption Lady Kira was behind the serial killings. But if Lady Kira is one of the victims, who was the culprit, and what was their motive? The only suspect left is Mrs. Inmi, and there's only one possible motive. What if Mrs. Inmi is a rebel? What? Fiend! You're still bent on casting suspicion upon my lovely wife? Blasphemer! You have no evidence of this. Repent for the mistrust in your soul.
Objection!
Well, you have no evidence either. After all, the dagger with my client's prints on it wasn't what killed Acolyte's lot. And the plumbed Punisher theme that he heard could have been an alarm clock. That means all of the evidence leaking to her, that means all of the evidence leaking her to the crime have been called into question. Was Lady Inmi a rebel, and did she pose as Lady Kira to kill Acolyte Zalat? Or was Acolyte Zalat a rebel and was the accused of the Lady Kira who killed him? I would say either scenario is just as likely. What are we to do now? The alarm clock, you say? Do you mean the one in the rebel hideout? Yes, but what of it? So that's it. What's gotten into him? Abandoned me. Just what is so comical? Forgive my outburst. That has simply tickled my funny bone. What did? The theme song came from the plumbed Punisher clock, you say? That alarm clock cannot possibly have gone off. What makes you say that? The clock was working just fine the last time I checked. Try using your head for a change. Would not the existence of a secret hideout be given away if an alarm clock kept going off? Wait, you don't mean... Indeed. We leave the alarm switched off at all times. No! In that case, I am sad to say that the defense's claim does not hold water. Would you care to respond, Mr. Wright? Oh, this can't be happening. Not now. This should put an end to the lawyer's futile struggles. The theme song the victim heard was from the accused strap, just as we suspected. Therefore, the accused is the rebel hunting lady Kira and the victim's killer. I need an opening, something I can raise an objection to. That plumped Punisher theme song, the theme song acolytes Salat heard in his final moments. I too heard it by way of the listening device. But did you really? If you had heard it, why didn't you testify to the fact before? Isn't it not obvious? I do not know such a tune could become a key matter of dispute. Yes, the matter of the theme song came up before Abbott in me was channeled. Oh, right. Well then, what if he's lying about the clock's alarm being switched off? Miserable wretch. That would be a pointless lie, one easily disproven. If you check the clock, you will see that the alarm is in fact switched off. Come to think of it. What a fine item. And the switch, if I'm right. We set back we set the switch back into the off position before we left. I remember hearing it clearly. Those distinctive taiko drums in the intro are etched in my mind. They went. Tataka don. Or basically tataka don. And then yeah. Distinctive taiko drums in the intro? This trial has gone on far too long. Shall we move ahead to the verdict phase now? By all means, and let us also return Abbott in me's spirit to the Twilight Realm. Before I go, let me say a word to my darling wife.
Objection!
Now hold on just 1 minute. Your Majesty? Yes? The High Priestess statement is inconsistent with a certain piece of evidence. Is it? Still you writhe in the defiance of your fate. The very sight reminds me of a tortured soul writhing in flames. You won't be saying that once I show you the evidence. Now, all I have to do is pick the right one. Alright, so let's present that same strap here. Because think of it. Well, think about it. This little thing here is a strap, a little toy. If it's pressed, then yeah, the theme song would have played. But keep in mind, it's a small object. It's a small strap. So, if the alarm clock was turned off as they say it was, then the song would have played loudly. Not only that, the microphone would have picked it up. but keep in mind that little strap can also play that song, but in a way that it only plays around like a few about a feet of sound that it can hold, and on top of that, the hold on, let me show the picture of the photo here. Let's switch here. Now, Phoenix found the microphone behind the Defiant Dragon banner. So there's no way it would have picked up the theme song from a small strap. You know those toys that are kind of open, and it has those like signs that say "try me," you know, and you give it a push and it plays either a sound, or you hear a voice or music. It's not that loud. Those things are not that loud. So yeah. All right, so back to where I was. Let's present that strap. This is what's consistent with his statement. My client's plumbed Punisher strap. What does that have to do with anything? So basically, the theme song from the clock will be louder than the strap in a way. It plays the Plumbed Punisher theme song, and here it is. The theme song, the theme to the Plumbed Punisher, Warrior of Neo Twilight Realm. Or I may have it wrong or something. But we'll see. Do you see what I mean? The music the victim heard in his final moments might not have been the Plumbed Punisher theme song. I'm afraid I'm not following you. What was it if not the Plumbed Punisher theme song? In his final moments, Acolyte's a lot heard. The Steel Samurai theme song. There are no taiko drums in the intro of the Plumbed Punisher theme song. So what Acolyte Salat actually heard in his final moments was the theme of the Steel Samurai, Warrior of Neo Tokyo. Peace! Peace! I say... Sorry, peace I say! Mr. Rite, what is this Steel Samurai of which you speak? The Steel Samurai Warrior of Neo Tokyo is an action hero show from America. Japan. Actually. If you didn't know about the Steel Samurai, you could easily mistake the two. But the fact that Acolyte Slot heard music from an American action hero show is irrefutable evidence that the accused was in the secret hideout. Actually, no. You have it backwards. Backwards? That's right. Miss Faye met an avid Punisher fan here in Kurain, and as a token of their friendship, she traded a certain Steel Samurai item she had for the Punisher strap. And this avid Plum Punisher fan was the one who killed acolytes a lot? Yes. And that avid fan is none other than the High Priest's wife, Believe in Me. Do you have evidence to back up this claim, Mr. Wright? For as forgiving as the Holy Mother is. Oh yeah, we do have proof. I doubt she would tolerate yet another dose of your baseless slander. I suggest you prepare yourself to face Her Holiness's wrath. Oh, I'm prepared to turn this case upside down, that is. This is my last chance. I better take a deep breath. And review the evidence. Very well then. Please present your evidence, if you would, defense. The evidence that proves Mrs. Inmee was the only one who killed acolytes a lot was this. And thus we present the family photo. It's right here in this family photo. Proof that Mrs. Inmee and Miss Faye traded items featuring their favorite characters. A family photo? And what exactly should we be looking at here? The proof that they exchanged items featuring their favorite characters is da 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 da. Wait a minute. There we go. Look at Mrs. Inmee's left wrist. You can see the Steel Samurai's trademark top knot right here. Which clearly makes this a Steel Samurai watch. Oh! Why, I never knew your wife had such hobbies, Abbott and me. This family photo was taken right before Acolyte Salat was murdered. By that point, my client had the Punisher strap and Mrs. Inmee had the samurai watch. So what the victim heard in his final moments was none other than the sound of of the watch Mrs. Inmee was wearing. I wish to amend my testimony. What I thought were taiko drums was something else. My wife never had such a watch, but the photo proves it. It's the truth I tell you. You must believe me, Your Majesty. I'm gonna skip this. There we go. Be not deceived by the defense's lawyerly chicanery? Now what? He's been pretty quiet up to this point. What does he have up his sleeve? There is a big gaping hole in this flimsy claim. A big gaping hole? I don't think so. Oh no, I'm afraid it is there, alright. Just like the big gaping holes in your putrid brain. My brain is neither putrid nor full of holes. I'm not a zombie after all. Says the dead lawyer walking. He who is narrow of vision focuses on what is before him, never seeing the big picture. Or, as they say in your country, you cannot see the forest for the trees. For it is as you said, and Lady Inmi. The rebels, the rebel slew acolytes a lot. The rebel hunting Lady Kira. Then the rebel hunter would have been dead before the high priest was slain. That means the high priest could not have been slain by the rebel hunting Lady Kira. How could I have missed that? So tell me, who are you going to say killed the high priest now? No! Do you finally understand the sheer size of the holes that riddle your putrid brain? I'm in hot water now. I don't have any other suspects in the high priest's murder. You mindless zombie. You should have begun your journey in the Twilight Realm long ago. Now let it go and move on. No, I will never give up. I need to think think things through and figure out who really killed the high priest. Time for a review. If Acolyte Zalat had been Lady Kira, he couldn't have killed the high priest. So the question is, who did? Maybe I can get to the bottom of this by reviewing the events of this case in order. What evidence could tell me something about the scene of the crime before the murder? Well, that would be Maya's testimony. The spring was stained red. Oh, right. Maya said the spring had been stained red before the rite even began. The spring was already red before the high priest's murder because of Salat's blood. The spring was stained red by Salat's blood. That's right. Salat had been killed in the rebel hideout the day before the rite, and his blood had flowed into the spring. Wait a second. The high priest knew that Salat had been killed in the hideout. So why didn't he report it to the authorities? If Maya had been the killer, he could have easily had her arrested on the spot. Why didn't the high priest inform the authorities right then? Well, that's easy. To keep the hideout hidden. If he reported Zlat's murder, the authorities would find out about the hideout, and that's what he was worried about. But by going through with the rite, the high priest risked having Maya see the spring running red with blood. Why did he have to go through with the rite? Did he want to? Can it be to set up the scene? Yep, we're going fast now. Use the rite to cover things up. Oh wow. He wanted to set up the crime scene to conceal the hideout. But how was he planning to conceal the source of the blood in the spring. Well, as painfully as it sounds, he had to use his own blood. Stained the spring with his own blood. He concealed the source of the blood with his own. That was how he kept the rebel hideout a secret. Oh my goodness! Excuse me 1 second. I'll be right back. Cut. All right. So, where was I? That was how he kept the rebel hideout a secret. It's also starting to fall into place. I know who killed the high priest. It was... Who do you think it was? Well... Yeah, unfortunately... There's no way to put it, but... It was Abedinmi himself. Trust's death was a suicide. I can't believe it! The high priest took his own life to keep the rebel hideout a secret. The high priest wasn't murdered by anyone. He took his own life to keep the rebel hideout a secret. What? 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 What's this? He's in shock, like he's not saying anything. The high priest committed suicide? I have never heard anything more absurd. The lawyer The lawyer has placed a stain on the good priest's death with his putrid brain. It's putrid. It's putrid. Gaping holes are as large as the hole in his logic. What hole? You still fail to understand. You truly cannot see the forest for the trees. You claim the high priest took his own life? But have you considered who brought the dagger to the Plaza of Devotion? After the high priest was killed, the dagger was thrust into Acolyte Lot's dead body. Only the accused, Maya Fey, could have done that. It is as prosecutors Sadmahi says. Your claim is rather porous in its logic, and your evidence is too weak. You cannot prove that the high priest took his own life to conceal the rebel hideout. They're right. The dagger was impaled in Zalat's body, but his body had been placed at the plaza the previous day. Well, Mr. Wright, would you care to respond? Zalat's body was already in the plaza the day before the rite. But what if the dagger was already in him at the time? The dagger was never in the inner sanctum. He died by a different weapon. Of course, that's it. What is it? There was no need to move the dagger. It had already been stabbed into Acolyte Salat's body the day before the rite. What? So that means... What does that mean? It means the dagger wasn't the weapon that took the High Priest's life. But no weapon was ever found at the Inner Sanctum. If you will not listen to reason, then I insist you prove your assertion. Show us what you believe the real murder weapon to be. The real weapon? I've got nothing, but I know that there had to have been a weapon there. Maybe if I think back on the trial thus far, I'll spot the clue I need. Well, would the defense care to tell us what the real murder weapon is? This is what really killed the High Priest, and thus we present the War Bat statue. What really killed him has been at the Inner Sanctum all this time, and its lethality has already been demonstrated by the late Acolyte Zalite. That's right, it was the War Bat statue. Ow, 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 ow. KO. You believe that the statue claimed both victims' lives? Would you care to chime in, Abbott and me? No, no, he lies. Pay him no heed. Why, it's... Lady in me. Darling, don't you think if this has gone on long enough? Believe, no! Your Majesty, my wife knows nothing. Please, Abbott and me, let your wife speak. Now, Lady in me, please continue if you would. It's that time again. And what time would that be? 2:30 in the afternoon. The time my husband conducts his daily prayers. And the time Pere was slain. And thus the alarm watch it comes into play. That sound! It's the Steel Samurai alarm. I too like to pray at the same time as my dear husband, so I set an alarm to remind me each day, but I had no idea it would come to this. No, stop! She knows not what she speaks. Your Majesty, I am the one who slew Acolyte Salat. Abbott in me. Bailiff, summon a physician at once. He's dead, remember? Well, for the body, I forgot about that too. The physician's now attending to the High Priest, so there is no need to fear. Now, let us continue. And what about half of him called Maya that's still among the living? Mrs. Inme, will you tell us everything you know? The truth is, I am a rebel, just like my husband. This tragedy unfolded before the rite, during the Feast of Blessings. I had gone to the rebel hideout to prepare for that's escape. And that's when Acolyte's lot suddenly appeared. Yes, Puree was shocked when he saw me there. Acolyte Salat did not know you were a rebel? I do not believe he did. I believe he was there to simply investigate the hideout. And then he suddenly came face to face with Mrs. Inme. So the true identity of the rebel hunting lady Kiro was Praise-a-Lot? Yes. He was a member of the secret police, serving directly under the Minister of Justice. The secret police? And this is what he said to me. I can kill rebels with impunity. The Justice Minister has my back. He was using his position within the secret police to deal with us rebels a heavy blow. But murder sanctioned by the crown is still murder. Even without the DC Act, Dirk and his certain scum buddies' days are numbered. What's that supposed to mean? Let's just say I got a little trick up my sleeve, so I'd watch it if I were you. Because you got a defiant attitude, like one of them dragon dupes. The trick up Minister in the sleeve was Lady Kira. No! This can't be! My father would never... This must be a bolt out of the blue for Rafa. This explains why Acolyte Zalat abandoned his real name. Yes. He even went as far as covering up the tattoo that all Kuraina's clergy members receive. Lady Kira was a member of the secret police. That explains why no order was given to investigate her attacks. I guess I'm not alone in hearing this for the first time. But this cannot be. Is this true? The Justice Minister is sanctioning state-sponsored murder? Peace! Now, Lady Inme, please continue. Praise suddenly lunged at me. That's when I pushed the stone slab toward him with all my might. But I never meant for what happened next to occur. Allow me to take it from here. Abbot and me, are you sure you're all right now? I am sorry for, you had to see that, but you need not worry about me. I am already dead. Please, we need to know what's so important that you would take your own life. After I learned that my wife had accidentally slain Zalat, I chilled his body with snow to make it seem as if he died more recently than he did. Then, I later moved it to the Plaza of Devotion and inserted the dagger into his wound. The plaza was empty at the time, for it was before prayer time had started. Finally, I placed his body in the prayer pose, knowing that no one would notice anything was wrong until the rite had concluded. It is perfectly plausible that no one would disturb him if he seemed to be praying. We do treasure our prayer time, after all. So you admit you tried to pin this crime on Maya Fey? Yes, this was all my doing. I never told my wife of my plan, for surely she would have tried to stop me. How did you get Miss Faye's fingerprints on that dagger? I had her hold it while we were rehearsing the rite the day before, and right before the rite, I drugged her with a sleeping agent. Then I put Lady Kira's robes over the Warbat statue. That means Maya was probably already groggy by the time the rite started. Finally, I ended my own life to ensure that the crime would appear to have been by Acolyte Faye's own hand. But when your body was discovered, Lady Kira's robes were on the ground. How did they end up there if they were on the statue? After I impaled myself on the statue's dagger-like feathers, I used the last ounce of my strength to hurl my body backwards. As I did, I grabbed on to the robes, taking them with me as I fell back onto the ground. How terrible! What possessed you to do such a thing? You needn't have committed suicide simply to frame the accused. Prosecutor Sadmahi, as one well-versed in our kingdom's legal system, I would expect you, of all people, to understand. Understand what? This kingdom's legal system, Mrs. Inmi's crime, your suicide? It can't be. That would be sadder than sad. Why, I believe the defense knows of what the High Priest speaks. Yes, I finally understand. This explains why the High Priest took his own life. And thus we present Dirk's Law Book.
Take that!
The DC Act. Circumstantial evidence supports Mrs. Inmi's killing of Acolyte's Lock in self-defense. However, it would be next to impossible to prove it without a lawyer. That's why the High Priest wanted to pin the crime on Maya Fey. I failed to see what that has to do with the suicide. In Kurain, the divination seance is the most important piece of trial evidence. The High Priest wanted to frame Miss Fey as a serial killer. It was a clever plan in which he made sure he'd see Lady Kira in his final moments. The lawyer speaks true. That is why I placed Lady Kira's robes upon the Warbat statue. I made it seem that Acolyte Faye was the rebel hunting Lady Kira. But are you saying you used my divination seance to produce false evidence? Forgive me, your benevolence, but it was the only way to help my lovely wife. If you had approached me first, I could have proved that the murder was in self-defense. Perhaps, but I had little faith in lawyers, despite being a rebel. How utterly foolish to cast away one's life for such a reason. There must have been other ways to cover up the crime. Yet I had done so. My wife would rush to my defense, and when the case went to trial, she would suffer the same fate as I under the DC Act. I could not have lived with myself had she had been convicted because of that fiendish man. This cannot be. All I have done under the laws of our kingdom, it has all been. Poor Rafa. She's really taken this hard. But I can't say I'm surprised. Mr. Phoenix Wright, it is time to show the might of your legal prowess. You mustn't allow another innocent soul to be charged under that despicable law. Of course, I'll do. Of course, I'll do whatever I can. What have I done to you and Acolyte Faye is unforgivable. I can only offer my most humble of apologies. Your Majesty? Yes? I ask that you please look after my wife. You have my word. Your benevolence, it is time that I return to the Twilight Realm. But first, can you put the clothes back on, please? The Magatama of parting, if you please. Very well. Hold it! Your benevolence, please, allow me the honor. Yes, it would be more fitting for you to send him on his way. Mrs. Inmi. Darling, I'm so glad I was able to see you one last time. Thank you for everything. Thank you. I'm sorry to leave you like this, my love. But now you can watch over me from beyond, from the world beyond. Yes, always. Oh, sorry. That's Abbott. Yes, always and forever. And with every breath I take, my darling, I'll be thinking of you. I thought she was gonna reference a certain song. Anywho. Farewell, my darling trust. The High Priest has returned to the Twilight Realm. Maya! I feel great. I guess that means he didn't leave any regrets behind. Oh, but what about the trial, Nick? It's over. It was a sad reality born of love and a great tragedy born of the DC Act. Well, I see no need to continue this trial. Does the prosecution have anything to say? Mr. Phoenix Wright, I owe a debt to you, one that I will pay back in court someday. Now, to deliver today's verdict and overturn that of yesterday's trial, with respect to all current and previous charges against them, I hereby declare the accused Maya Fey and her defense, Phoenix Wright, not guilty. A joyous moment. A joyous moment indeed. Alright, so we're back in the lobby now. So, I was thinking, Nick, the legal system here is really stacked against the defense. It's totally unfair. Yeah, it even forced the high priest to make the ultimate sacrifice just to protect his wife. It's just so sad. Protect the status quo or join the revolution. If the real Lady Kira were here, I wonder which side she would take. Your benevolence? Huh? What? I was just wondering, are you alright? Quiet, you! How could I possibly be alright? Yeah, she's not doing well at all. Who do you think you are? Suddenly appearing before me. Wasn't it you that appeared before us? Trampling my insides underfoot and plunging the Hall of Justice into utter chaos. Funny, I don't hear anybody complaining. You even desecrated my mother and father's teachings, you soulless infidel. Oof, that was a bit more extreme than usual. What am I to do? I had always believed that communing with a victim's Maitama would lead me to the absolute truth. But each time you overturned my insights, it was revealed that they served to support false charges rather than the truth. And she has to understand is that what we see is not often what it seems. I am left now with that heavy truth in my heart. I'm sorry, Riva. Perhaps I am not worthy of hearing the voices of the Maitama. That's where you're wrong, your benevolence. What? It was Maya. Maya? How dare you? Your role is to bring forth the voices of the Maitama into our world. If you don't do it, who will? You know nothing, Maya Fey. It was spirit channeling, not a divination seance that brought the truth to light. Well, actually, it was both. that helped a lot in a way. How how dare an outsider like you employ the Queen's secret art? But what can I do? My spiritual power does not even approach yours. Is it not a cruel joke? The royal priest is bested by a lowly outsider? Don't be so hard on yourself. Why not? Is it worth at least a laugh or two? You shouldn't talk like that. Huh? Listen, your benevolence. You were just fulfilling your duty, weren't you? And you're the only one who and you're the only one capable of performing the divination seance, right? The station of royal priestess is not something to abandon lightly. The station of royal priestess? The people of your kingdom believe in you, but if you really mean all that you just said, then what are they supposed to believe in? You know not of what you speak. Oh, she does. You're just not listening. Actually, I kinda do. After all, I'm only here training so I can become the master of my village back home. A village master, you say? I did not know. It seems I owe you an apology for even today I called you a neophyte practitioner. It's all right, your benevolence. Thank you for finally acknowledging me. A future queen and a future village master. I guess it shouldn't be a surprise, considering they may have a common ancestor. Maya's right, your benevolence. But Barbed Head? Your insights were a crucial piece of evidence in this last trial. It doesn't matter if they weren't always 100% accurate. You should be proud of what you did. You played an important role in assuring that justice was served. And besides, your insights aren't the problem here. It's your kingdom's legal system. Without lawyers, your insights have come to be accepted as the sole truth. And the DC Act, which gave rise to that, is the root of it all. But that is dangerous. Thinking of a rebel. Your benevolence, as crown princess, you are destined to rule this kingdom one day. That means there will be many things that you alone must determine. Things like how to keep your people happy, and what is true and what is false, and most importantly, what role you must play therein. I wonder if I am even up to the task. Knowing you, your benevolence, you're more than capable. I've never heard Maya talk like this before. She's really come a long way. Whoa, what was that? What was that? It came from the hallway. Smoke. We better go check it out. Hurry. This is in me. Mr. Rite. Acolyte Faye, I'm so sorry for what transpired. You were almost sentenced to death because of me. I will make amends by picking up where my husband left off. I will see the revolution through, so nothing like this can ever happen again. For that is the depth of my love for my dearly departed husband. Lady in me, we gotta hurry. That voice, is that Mr. Arbol? I must tell the people. They must learn that the peace we enjoy is a false one. One built on the backs of innocents charged with false crimes under the odious DC Act. We have it in our power to forge a society in which the law judges all of us fairly. Hey there, PW. I wish we had more time to talk, but Dirk, everything's ready. It's go time. Dirk. Oh, it's him. Wait, was that the rebel leader, Dirk? After him! Don't let them get away! The power to forge a society in which the law judges all of us fairly. It's the start of the legal revolution. Hey Nick, hate to bother you while you're lost in thought, but I just got this great idea. What is it? The Steel Samurai versus the Rebel Dirk. I bet it make for another awesome TV show. And if we threw the plump Punisher in there, everyone would go nuts over it. I'll never get what she sees in those shows, but it's good to know that no matter what happens, Maya will always be Maya. Oh boy. The end. Oh wow. Alright. Tune in Monday where we will take down the trial only episode 4, Turnabout Storyteller. We're almost done. Just 2 more episodes to deal with. So, wow. I guess I'm making some good some good scheduling here. So far so good. All right. So until then, everyone, take care and God bless. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment, and share with all your family and friends. If you're enjoying my content, consider subscribing to the channel. And don't forget to click that bell to receive notifications for new videos. Take care, and God bless.